You ready for football season? I'm already ready. It's still July. It's July 24th, but we've migrated on to football. I just can't handle baseball anymore. It's too much every day. You can still purchase baseball if you contact me directly and you get me to do it for that day, but I'm not doing it daily for baseball anymore. But I will be doing it weekly for football. So this video is about football. And I decided to prepare the entire preseason because we can. So what I'm offering here is I'm offering a really basic purchase for those who want to get started with NFL for the year. You can purchase a copy of this file, which has the projection so far for all the three preseason weeks, I guess. There's like an initial game here between the Raiders and the Jaguars. It's predicting a high scoring game there. There are no lines yet for any of these preseason games, or at least I wasn't able to find them. Those will get updated. So I'm offering this as a file where you can purchase for $25 this file, and it will be a subscription for the entire preseason. So I'll send out an email every week before each of these preseason games as rosters get updated, because that's the big thing that's going to happen. Is right now I have a pretty good look at who's on whose team right now. I believe RotoWire has done a great job with their projection sheet, and this is supposedly the correct teams as of today, the 24th. Of course, this will change a lot as preseason goes on, and we'll update it. But you're basically you've got something to start with here, and I will be doing videos discussing how to update this file. So if you're one of those people who's a tech person and you really want to get into this and do this, you could even start with this $25 preseason file and never pay me or worry about me again for the whole year, and you can update it yourself. It's difficult though, and the transition from preseason to the regular season is a lot of work. So there's two subscriptions. One is for just the preseason file for $25. The other is the season subscription, which is $150. And if you purchase that one, you get an email from me every week for the entire season, and you're also on the preseason list as well. So you're good to go from today forward. But I figured I would get this ready because there's so much to go over with football. It's one of the funner versions of the algorithm. It's going to beat the odds makers, and it's going to beat every individual human being who tries to outpredict this thing. It's the best ever made. That's what I always say because it's true. So it's going to do this projected score thing, and it's going to be incredible. So let's kind of quickly talk about the preseason zero, or that first game of the preseason, and the preseason week one games, right? So we don't have any lines here. Now, one would say, well, should you be betting preseason? Like, I mean, are these guys even going to be trying? Half of them aren't going to play most of the game. And the answer is you can bet preseason. You just need to watch out for teams that are really, really good already and have guys that are not playing, like, I mean, they're not needing to prove themselves, right? So those are situations like teams that made it deep in the playoffs last year. You know, you got your Tampa Bay, your Kansas City, your Rams, your, I don't know, Buffalo, maybe not so much, but teams that don't have a lot of guys that are competing for spots. The Bengals, even, like, there's teams that did well enough last year that those guys aren't worried. Those guys I wouldn't expect to play that hard in preseason. So you've got to watch out for those games. Like, it's funny, it's even predicting the Bears beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are probably going to be favored in this game, maybe. It's tough to see what preseason lines are. But the point is, based on the players who are playing, this projected score and this projected margin of victory, these are awesome. And so this is going to, like, for example, Patriots over the Giants, right? Giants probably have a lot of guys that are playing for spots because they were so bad last year, but you think Belichick doesn't have these guys even playing in preseason? So you can see that empirically the Patriots are supposed to crush them anyway. So I'd say you can bet preseason. You definitely could last year. You've got stats or history from the entire season last year. Okay. So if you want to look at and the playoffs, let's look at the playoffs too. Let's look at, this was the entire 2021 season and playoffs. And we're going to show win-loss here. It's hidden, but it's right here. So we went 158-10. But what's interesting is you want to kind of sort this by projected margin of victory. And it's tough to look at when we're looking at all weeks. You kind of start one by one. Well, you can see like week one, projected margin of victory here. Look at your wins, right? You're going to be looking at this right here. 10-6 by projected score. but every team we predicted to win by 7 points or more, these top four at least won in week 1. Week 2, you hit, like this: 3 out of 4, 3 out of 6, 5 out of 8, right? Here, huge week. 10 of the top 11. Here, even more, all the way down here, you've got 10 out of 14. And you can also look and see some of these lines were underdogs. Like, look at us hitting underdog money lines here. Underdog. So, like, this thing does amazing things with point projections because it's using the specific players that are playing in the game. So, for those who want to get started and don't want to pay a lot for that muffler, $25 and you can start learning about Microsoft Excel, learning how this thing is created. It's the best ever made because what we do here is we let the stats determine what the best mixture is for what variables really matter. And things that I've learned for doing this for probably a decade now. I've been doing this a long time. I don't know how many years I've been doing the NFL algorithm, but it's at least 5 or 6 hard. And the point projections part is at least 3 or 4 years old. So we've been through this, and home and away really matters a lot. You get to look at historical home and away for teams and defensive rating and who's playing with. These things have been tested and tried. So anybody who's looking at this, the only way you can do better than this is by doing your own analysis after you get the file, and basically use this to make it even better and to identify areas where players may not have players playing in rosters, or prune out some people's statistics if they have really minimal statistics, or if they're injured and they're not, we have this whole injury report thing about people's injury status, and sometimes you can remove questionables if you know the severity of an injury. Like, there's all kinds of additional things you can do to this, but nobody on their own who isn't using this is going to do better than this. I mean, it's just incredible, and it takes into account everything, and it's programmed like I program all the algorithms, which are the best in the world. So if you want to get in on this, you can, and you can figure out if the Raiders are really going to outscore the Jags by a lot of points. And you can say that the pick it likes the most in preseason week 1, Patriots. It likes the Lions over the Falcons, folks, by 16 points. Right? Things like that you're going to be like, what are you doing, algorithm? And then the games happen, and you're like, how the heck did you know that was going to happen? I didn't know that. The algorithm knew that. I have no idea what it's doing half the time. I just know that the way I programmed it retroactively created the best results. So we just go with that, because if you believe that the stats matter, then you should be using something like this. All right. So good luck, everybody. Enjoy your preseason. If you want to get on the list, $25. If you want to get on the list for the season before I raise the price, pay the full $150. So good luck, everybody. May the Patriots be winning? I guess so. All right. And that first game right here, here you go, 64 points. So I guarantee you the over-under is not set at 60. It's probably going to be set at like 48. And it's saying it's going to hit that in that game. It also says the Raiders are going to win. All right. Good luck, everybody. They all your picks.